You send out an email like once a month or something between there?
Not once a month, not as which I should do. I should be doing posting, sending out preview pages of books that I'm working on, things like that. But usually when I have a project coming up, this is when I push it out. Just because I feel like I'm flooding people's mailboxes every month with something.
So well, here's what we'll say, and this is something that's a concern everybody has because we all know we have email like oh god more email, but we also know the email we really want we're gonna read, and the email we don't we'll either unsubscribe or click the button on. Now, if I unsubscribe, the chances are I wasn't gonna buy the next book anyways, and typically with an email list, it costs money to have somebody on it. So they're probably better off not being there and you having to pay to keep them on your email list. You want your email list should be like your diehards. Now, this is actually where I would say like your idea of like what does the book mean to me, and your email and your like this is to me it's part of like the uh, the the marketing of the brand is a lot of what the email would take place. And the thing that and why I say it's best to kind of have like a steady stream kind of always going is that if you only ever worry about when you're in like a creation or sales cycle, there's a lot of time in there where people can forget what that email's about. You know, if you haven't released a book in 2 months or two months, and they just get this email every or 2 years, and they only get an email once a year or something, and they're gonna look at that 2 years down the road and go, what is this? Who's this person emailing me? What is this about? Just get it out of here. Whereas if you have like that steady reminder of who you are and why they remember you and why they should keep remembering you, it's going to keep more people kind of in your sphere and keep them hungry for the next thing. It could be something as simple as don't even need you could be showing them other stuff that you're working on, or if you want to, or you had a doodle or something that you just oh God, I'm sitting here writing this book for so and so else, but this is what I really want to be doing, and just like a quick sketch of something, of an idea, you know, storylines, that you'll never be able to create. But like, wouldn't it be fun if we got to do something like this? Just give like it's like Easter eggs almost, kind of apportioned out throughout the year to kind of keep people thirsty and keep them interested. More importantly, the thing is just to keep people remembering who you are. Like in a 6 year cycle, like you got 6 years between books there. There's a lot of drop off that people can take and say, okay, I was in a different place. I don't remember any of that. You have a better chance of kind of keeping them your people if you're keeping in a constant contact with.
That makes sense.
And like I said, it's if it's something I'm genuinely interested in, there's musicians that like I still kind of I keep their emails. I haven't bought anything from them in years because I haven't really had much to buy. But like it interests me what that artist is doing, kind of in their journey, their walk. I think there's a certain degree which many of us are creators ourselves. Certainly, like within the comics and pulp spaces, and we're all kind of interested in what the other guys are doing. Like, how does he manage to do this? Is he working on it? So we don't know. I'm curious, how long do you think it's going to be between your next book and the previous book? You said you've got two other projects you're working on before that, but I don't know. I don't know how that actually looks like time wise.
Um, well, the one I'm currently working on should be coming out in September, and then after that, probably a year later for the next book, and then I would say another year.
Okay, and so like that'll be like it's like it gets 6 years between book one and book two, and then let's add another 4 years between both the previous book and this book. So 10 years from one end to the other.
Wow, when you put it like that, that's a lot. Wow.
Well, it is, but the one thing you can focus on. I mean, and I will say this. So I grew up listening to Stephen King, and the Dark Tower books were my thing. And he'd release one. Honestly, it probably a cycle like you're talking 6 years from one, 4 years to the next. If we got one every other year, we were having a good a good run of things. But there's something we said, like, I still wanted that next thing to come out. I needed to know what happened. I needed to know where we're going. But is also something to like that journey, no matter where you come into it and where you end at. There's something to kind of be cherished and savored about the time you spent together. Like if you get people to buy book 1, book 2, book 3, that's a decade that people have kind of spent with you on this journey. And that's something else to kind of be worth thinking about. It's like, it's like a friend. We don't talk all the time, but when we talk, it's really important. It's something that we have together in this small way. I guess just a couple different ways to be thinking about time.
Yeah, you're kind of like blowing my mind here.